I'm Liyana Hassanel, and this is Nightline, the top stories. 2 Dato among 4 senior officers of Ismail Sabri remanded by MACC over suspicion of corruption. And government grants authorities full independence in war against corruption. The headlining story. 2 individuals holding the Datuk title were among 4 senior officers of the former 9th Prime Minister who were remanded by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, last Friday. The remand was to assist ongoing investigations into multiple corruption and money laundering allegations involving millions of ringgit. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki confirmed the arrest of the 4 individuals on Sunday. He added that the probe is being led by the Commission's Anti-Money Laundering Division. The remand order on the 4 suspects was issued by Putrajaya Magistrate Irza Zulaika on Friday. 3 of them were remanded for 5 days until Tuesday. The 4th individual, a woman who also serves as an assistant to a Datuk, was remanded for 3 days before being released on Sunday. The case is being investigated under the MACC Act and Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act. Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has reiterated that his administration fully empowers the authorities to take action in accordance to law. The Prime Minister emphasized that claims by certain parties alleging political motives behind these actions are entirely unfounded. In his speech at the launch of the refurbished Alamanda Shopping Centre in Putrajaya on Sunday, Anwar dismissed claims that the government's ongoing war on corruption is driven by personal vendettas.
Ada orang kata saya agak dendam kerana nak cari salah. Tak benar. Saya hanya beri kebebasan. Dr. Zahra tahu dalam Jemaah Menteri, kita tidak campur. Bagi kebebasan kepada polis kerja dia. Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri, tugas dia. Kotip Cukai, Custom, SPRM, menggeledah supaya hentikan amalan rasuah.
Anwar, who is also the finance minister, stressed that his administration is committed to upholding good governance and tackling corruption. He also reaffirmed the government's commitment to addressing public criticism on issues such as flood mitigation and infrastructure projects. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister voiced his concern over some quarters becoming entangled in trivial disputes, which distract from more critical national priorities. He stressed the need to put an end to such distractions and prioritize technological development to enhance the country's global competitiveness. In his speech, Anwar criticized certain parties for continuing to engage in petty arguments, while other nations are racing ahead in strengthening their technological capabilities, as well as developing key sectors such as artificial intelligence, digitalization and renewable energy.
Kita riuh rendah dalam soal-soal titik bengik, gaduh terus. Kalau dengar kadang-kadang sebahagian, bukan semua, sebahagian ceramah tazkirah itu, kutuk orang, maki orang, hukum orang. Dan tidak semua kita boleh bersetuju dalam semua perkara.
He noted that the country's significant economic growth and the harmony among its multiracial society are key factors in attracting foreign investors. Moreover, Malaysia has also become a focal point for visits by world leaders.
Lawatan-lawatan pemimpin dunia tak henti. Kita terpaksa anjak program-program. Tengok dalam sebulan 2 ini berapa banyak pemimpin besar. Dalam tak lama lagi, Presiden Xi Jinping akan datang. Presiden Afrika Selatan.
Air Kuning Assemblyman Ishsam Shahruddin was laid to rest at the Rapat Setia Islamic Cemetery in Ipoh earlier on Sunday. Family members, state government executives and close acquaintances were among those present to pay their last respects. Earlier, Ishsam's remains were taken from his residence in Desa Sri Ampang to Masjid An-Nur Desa Sri Ampang for funeral rites and prayers. About 1,000 congregants participated in the funeral prayers. Also in attendance were Perak Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Sarani Mohamad and Perak State Assembly Speaker Datuk Muhammad Zahir Abdul Khalid. The 59-year-old assemblyman collapsed at the Bandaraya Stadium in Georgetown, Pulau Pinang on Saturday after participating in a friendly football match alongside former players from Perak, Pulau Pinang, Kedah and Perlis. He was rushed to Pulau Pinang Hospital at 5:40 p.m. after receiving emergency aid on the field, but was pronounced dead at the emergency department of the hospital at 6:28 p.m. A post-mortem confirmed that his passing was due to a heart attack. Following the death of Ishsam, Perak State Assembly Speaker Datuk Muhammad Zahir Abdul Khalid said the Election Commission will be notified of the Ayer Kuning seat vacancy as early as Tuesday.
Kita akan maklumkan secara resmi kepada SPR supaya proses yang sepatutnya mengikut undang-undang tubuh dan juga perlembagaan negara. Jadi kita tunggu minggu depan. Saya akan jemput media sekali.
Under Article 36 in bracket 5 of the Perak State Constitution, the State Assembly Speaker must be notified the EC to initiate a by-election. The by-election must be held within 60 days from the date of the EC received the official notice of vacancy. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, who was in Tawau on Sunday, was asked to comment on the vacancy of the Ayer Kuning State seat.
Kami tidak merasa tergesa-gesa untuk melakukannya, namun oleh kerana bulan Ramadan telah terlalu hampir, tentunya kita mengharapkan tarikh yang akan dipilih oleh Suruhanjaya Pilihan Raya ini suatu tarikh yang dapat disesuaikan dengan keadaan bulan Ramadan.
Second Finance Minister Datuk Sri Amir Hamzah Azizan has hinted at a positive announcement regarding the Employees Provident Fund EPF dividend for 2024. This is due to EPF's impressive performance, which is significantly better than the previous year.
Kalau kita tengok dia punya performance sampai third quarter tahun lalu, dia menggalakkan. Sampai third quarter dia dapat 57.5 bilion. Lebih baik pada tahun sebelumnya. Jadi insyaAllah lah performance tu continue dalam kuarter keempat. Dan insyaAllah dividennya akan merangsangkan.
Amir Hamzah said this to the media after completing the Larian ASEAN Trek Kewangan at MOF event organised by the Finance Ministry in Putrajaya on Sunday. He added that economic factors and the performance of the Malaysian stock market also contributed to this position. Previously, economists suggested that last year's dividend could potentially reach up to 6%. The high level of foreign direct investment, FDI, this year has the potential to also generate positive returns for the EPF. The announcement by the Education Ministry, MOE, on the introduction of new school categories can be seen as an effort to reduce the educational gap between schools. National Union of the Teaching Profession, NUTP Secretary General Fauzi Singgon, believes the initiative can empower schools by addressing their specific needs and tailoring the syllabus to better meet students' requirements. According to Nga, the initiative is aimed at keeping Malaysia clean, especially in preparation for Visit Malaysia Year 2026, when the country expects to welcome 35 million visitors. To facilitate the implementation of the Community Service Order, his ministry has held several engagement and briefing sessions with relevant stakeholders. He added that amendments to the Solid Waste and Public Cleansing Management Act and the Street, Drainage and Building Act are necessary to enable the enforcement of the new law. Nga also stated that he will present the proposed amendments during the current Parliament session, scheduled for March 6th. The penalty will require offenders to perform up to 12 hours of community service, which may include sweeping streets, cleaning drains, and washing public toilets, in addition to paying a fine. Repeat offenders may also be required to wear special uniforms while carrying out the community service. A mother of 3 was found dead in Pokok Mangga, Melaka on Sunday. believed to have been murdered by her boyfriend. The body of the part-time singer was discovered sprawled on a bed in a rented house in Taman Sri Manga at around 11 a.m. The 52-year-old victim had reportedly been living with her boyfriend for the past 5 months. It is understood that their housemate alerted the police after noticing the couple had not been seen since last Friday. As of now, the police have yet to issue an official statement on the case. The announcement by the Education Ministry, MOE, on the introduction of new school categories can be seen as an effort to reduce the educational gap between schools. National Union of the Teaching Profession, NUTP Secretary General Fauzi Singhan believes the initiative can empower schools by addressing their specific needs and tailoring the syllabus to better meet students' requirements.
With clearer school categories, each institution can receive more targeted supports and resources, helping to enhance teaching and learning quality. Schools requiring special attention can receive earlier intervention, while high-performing schools can continue to be strengthened to achieve excellence. Through this reform, parents and students can expect several outcomes, I think. Education that is more tailored to students' needs. With a more flexible system, students can benefit from learning that better suits their abilities and interests.
On Friday, the MOE outlined 8 key priorities for its comprehensive implementation of educational reforms to strengthen the education system, starting with the 2025 to 2026 school session. Education Director General Azman Adnan stated that these priorities include reforming schools for excellence through a new approach by categorizing them into 3 types, namely focus schools, aspiration schools, and inspiration schools. This initiative aims to ensure that each educational institution receives the necessary interventions and support to enhance the quality of learning. Advancements in technology have enabled fraudsters and scammers to enhance their tactics, making their schemes more sophisticated and difficult to detect. However, the same technological progress has also equipped potential victims with better tools and knowledge to protect themselves against these deceitful individuals. Nightline's Muhammad Nadir Asfar has the report.
Despite ongoing efforts to combat fraud, scammers continue to prey on innocent people, robbing them of their hard-earned money. Recent reports reveal that total losses from online scams in Malaysia exceeded 1.5 billion ringgit in 2024, marking a 2.53% increase from the 1.2 billion ringgit recorded in 2023. Determined not to remain helpless victims, Malaysians are actively taking a stand against scammers in their own way. Artificial intelligence AI specialist Dylan Tan took the initiative to develop Scammers on Hold AI, a tool designed to waste scammers' time. According to him, the AI chatbot will interact with scammers on behalf of users, keeping them occupied. The longer scammers engage with his chatbot, the less time they have to target and defraud real victims.
So I wanted to address a universal problem that every Malaysian faces. I know how frustrating and annoying it is to receive a call from a scammer or a scammer sending you a message pretending to be someone, and then you don't know whether to trust this person. Are they really calling from my bank? Are they really a long-lost friend? So having to see all these personal experiences from myself, my friends, my family, and things you read online, I think this was a very clear driver for me. I need to build something to give people the power back.
Named Madam So, the AI is programmed to take on the character of an elderly Malaysian woman who communicates in English, Bahasa Melayu and Mandarin and tries to stall scammers as well as frustrate them.
And she would always give excuses, she would digress, change topic and ask questions just to waste as much time as possible. If the scammer stops replying to her, she would reply again and follow up and try to annoy the scammer back. The other improvement that I want to do is I want to be able to edit on voice, because a lot of scams call people. But if I can get an AI that would just talk to that scammer infinitely and waste their time, that will be amazing.
Meanwhile, Malaysian Cyber Consumer Association MCCA President Siraj Jalil believes that the public can defend themselves against scammers by improving their digital literacy and developing critical thinking skills.
One of major components for a person in digital literacy to protect themselves is about safety. A person should know how to protect their gadgets, and they should know how to protect their data, privacy. Also, they know how to operate any kind of security applications in their gadgets to protect themselves. So any kind of recognized fraudulent, it can be easily detected. Every time you communicate through digital communication tools, you must know how to filter any kind of messaging. So by having critical thinking, at least every single content you can understand well and differentiate better. Either it is a good communication or actually is a bad communication. So any kind of scams fall under bad communications. So if a person doesn't have critical thinking, they cannot differentiate between is it true or not.
As scams become more sophisticated, public awareness and digital literacy are crucial in preventing frauds. Stronger laws and collaboration between the government and the private sector can help enhance protection, helping Malaysians to stay vigilant and prevent them from becoming victims of scams. I'm Muhammad Nadir Asfar for Nightline TV3.
Girassi hits 4 as Dortmund conquer Berlin. Sports after this breather.
Tipu identiti untuk bekerja. Warga asing guna kad pengenalan palsu.
Jadi kau kerja pakai atas nama Zaini bin Anil. Nama kau sebenar apa? Asril.
Ratusan ringgit dibelanjakan. Sindiket pemalsuan MyCard diburu.
Bayar sama kawan dah?
300 saja bayar. Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Keadaan mayat ketika itu sudah membengkak, kembung, dapati dalam proses perebutan lah.
2 mayat lelaki bertatu ditemui dalam 2 bungkusan kanvas di kawasan Semak.
Memang tak ada kecederaan pada tubuh badan mayat.
Daripada Seksyen 302 iaitu pertuduhan bunuh ditukar seksyen kepada menyembunyikan mayat.
Tanyalah Ustaz minggu ini. Sabtu, puasa dengan ilmu. Ahad, amanah harta yatim. Isnin, Al-Quran I'tiraf Remaja. Selasa, ibadah bulan Ramadan. Rabu, At-Taubah membongkar sikap munafik. Khamis, Ramadan dan Salafus Saleh. Jumaat, Nur dan Muhammad. Tanyalah Ustaz biar tahu jangan keliru di TV3 dan TV9.
Wanita hari ini.
Liyana, kalau anak mengamuk, apa perlu buat? Ibu bapa perlu bijak mengawalnya. Sedapkan kalau dapat makan sup. Sup ayam, sup daging, sup giabok. Seronoknya tengok orang buat lawak.
Tapi kalau lawak tu tak bertempat, boleh timbul masalah tau.
Aduh, sakit gigi. Sakit gigi memang sakit. Jangan buat main, boleh mengancam nyawa tau. Kalau balik rumah dengar suara dia je lah.
Macam mana kalau dapat pasangan yang riuh sekampung?
Semuanya di WHI TV3 dan stream ditonton.
Juara anugerah juara lagu 39 Mangsa Bulan lagu Hening Rindu.
Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih untuk anda semua yang menyokong Hening Rindu.
Tahniah Hening Rindu dan semua pemenang anugerah juara lagu ke-39. Anda semua ternyata berjaya membangkitkan nada rasa dalam lagu.
This just in. 23 people, including 7 police officers, were injured in a bomb explosion near a supermarket in Banang Sata district, Yala province, late on Sunday. Banangsata Police Chief Colonel Police Ranon Surawit said the explosion occurred at 8:20 p.m. local time and was believed to have been carried out by an armed group that authorities are tracking. At the time of the incident, several police officers were on patrol in 2 4-wheel drive vehicles. When the police vehicles arrived at the supermarket, a bomb hidden nearby and believed to have been activated by remote control suddenly exploded. All the victims, consisting of 7 police officers and 16 civilians, had been taken to Banangsata Hospital for treatment, and investigations were ongoing. The explosion occurred a day before the former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra working visit to the southern region of Thailand in an effort to find a solution to the long-running conflict. Sports cycling, the Asian Cycling Championships. Malaysia hit the 3-medal target at the tournament on Sunday after Shafridah Sahrom and Nurul Izzah Izzati Asri won bronzes in the men's and women's individual sprint at the National Velodrome. Shah beat his younger brother Ridwan 2-0 for third placing. Japan's Kaya Ota won gold after defeating compatriot Shinji Nakano with the same score. Iza added more cheers to the Malaysian camp by retaining the bronze she won in the women's individual sprint last year in New Delhi. She staged a great comeback to overcome China's Bao Shanju 2-1 for Malaysia's 4th medal at the ACC. Keirin world champion Mina Sato of Japan won gold after defeating China's Guo Yufang 2-0 in the final. Shah and Iza's podium finishes ensured that Malaysia met the minimum 3-medal target set by national head coach Harnizam Basri. Turning to football, the German Bundesliga. Serhou Guirassy became the first player since Erling Haaland to score 4 goals for Borussia Dortmund in a 6-0 rout of Union Berlin. Dortmund took the lead in the 25th minute as Julian Riesen's low cross was deflected by Jogo Leitch into his own net. The hosts doubled the lead 15 minutes later, Guirassy heading home an inviting cross. The Guinea star made it 3-0 in the 75th minute with a fierce drive that found the top of the net. Guirassy completed his hat-trick 5 minutes later as he provided the simplest finishing for Pascal Gross's pass, before netting his 4th in the 83rd minute with a header. Maximilian Bayer completed the rout 2 minutes from time, sealing an emphatic 6-0 win. With the victory, Dortmund climbed to 10th in the standing with 32 points. In another match, Patrick Schick showed Bayer Leverkusen what it was missing against Bayern Munich last week by scoring in a 2-0 win at Holstein Kiel. Schick found the net for Leverkusen after just 9 minutes, finishing off a cross from the left side. An error from Kiel's defender led to Leverkusen's second just before the interval, with Amin Adli chipping the ball over Kiel's keeper following a quick counter-attack. The scoreline remained till the final whistle, giving the visitors the much-needed 3 points to stay in second, 5 points behind leaders Bayern Munich. One dead in stabbing spree in eastern France. The details when Nightline returns.
Tanyalah Ustaz minggu ini, Sabtu, puasa dengan ilmu. Ahad, amanah harta yatim. Isnin, Al-Quran I'tiraf Remaja. Selasa, Ibadah Bulan Ramadan. Rabu, At-Taubah membongkar sikap munafik. Khamis, Ramadan dan Salafus Saleh. Jumaat, Nur dan Muhammad. Tanyalah Ustaz, biar tahu jangan keliru di TV3 dan TV9.
Tipu identiti untuk bekerja. Warga asing guna kad pengenalan palsu.
Jadi kau kerja pakai atas nama Zaini bin Anil. Nama kau sebenar apa? Asril.
Ratusan ringgit dibelanjakan. Sindiket pemalsuan MyCard diburu.
Bayar sama kawan dah?
300 je bayar. Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Keadaan mayat ketika itu sudah membengkak, kembung, dapati dalam proses perebutan lah.
Dua mayat lelaki bertatu ditemui dalam dua bungkusan kanvas di kawasan Semak.
Memang tak ada kecederaan pada tubuh badan mayat.
Daripada Seksyen 302 iaitu pertuduhan bunuh ditukar seksyen kepada menyembunyikan mayat.
Wanita hari ini.
Liyana, kalau anak mengamuk, apa perlu buat? Ibu bapa perlu bijak mengawalnya. Sedapkan kalau dapat makan sup. Sup ayam, sup daging, sup giabok. Seronoknya tengok orang buat lawak. Tapi kalau lawak tu tak bertempat, boleh timbul masalah tau. Aduh, sakit gigi. Sakit gigi memang sakit. Jangan buat main, boleh mengancam nyawa tau. Kalau balik rumah dengar suara dia je lah. Macam mana kalau dapat pasangan yang riuh sekampung? Semuanya di WHI TV3 dan stream ditonton.
Surga mana kau jauh bertanya, di manakah kita? Surga mana kau masih bertanya, kemanakah kita? Aku jemahkan aura, sesiapa yang lihat aku terpesona. Sinarannya baper mata, aku dicinta dengan sempurna. Dia sudah cukup ku bertahan, tunggu malamnya, malamnya. Kalau diriku percaya padamu, kau harus kekalinya. Bintang film ucap nama masuk zon, getaran ikuton musik, warna-warna dalam cakrawala. Bintang film ucap nama masuk zon, getaran ikuton.
We're back with news on the foreign front. Millions of Germans are currently voting in snap elections called after the collapse of Chancellor Olaf Scholz's ruling coalition in November. Currently, the Conservative CDU candidate, Friedrich Merz, are strong favourites, but the election could bring record results for the far-right AfD, which is projected to double its vote. Opinion polls show that the AfD is on track to become the second biggest party in the lower house of Germany's parliament, or the Bundestag. However, the AfD has been shunned by other major parties, including the Conservative Merz. The CDU candidate is the front-runner to become Germany's next chancellor, and he has repeatedly stated that he would not work with the AfD. But in this constellation, smaller parties are likely to emerge as kingmakers. In the meantime, polling stations is expected to be closed at 1 a.m. Malaysia time, and vote counting would begin immediately after voting ends. Over in the U.S., President Donald Trump has announced efforts to recoup the billions of dollars in aid previously provided to Ukraine during its conflict with Russia. His comments came as Washington and Kyiv negotiate a mineral resources deal Trump wants as compensation for the wartime aid his predecessor Joe Biden gave Ukraine.
Europe gave it in the form of a loan. They get their money back. We gave it in the form of nothing, so I want them to give us something for all of the money that we put up, and I'm going to try and get the war settled, and I'm going to try and get all that death ended.
Speaking at the Conservative Political Action Conference near Washington, Trump added that Washington is asking for rare earth and oil, anything that they can get Ukraine. However, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has earlier expressed reservations about the proposed agreement, seeking security guarantees before committing to any deal. Trump's announcement was the latest twist in a whirlwind first month since he took office, during which he has upended U.S. foreign policy by making diplomatic overtures towards the Kremlin over the heads of Ukraine and Europe. In France, the suspect who went on a stabbing spree in Mile House, killing one and wounding several others, was on a terrorism watch list and was subject to deportation orders. The knife-wielding suspect, later identified by prosecutors as a 37-year-old Algerian-born man, was arrested at the site of Saturday's attack and had a schizophrenic profile, while his act had a psychiatric dimension. It was reported that France had repeatedly attempted to expel him from the country, but Algeria refused to cooperate. The incident took place shortly before 4 p.m. local time during a demonstration in support of the Democratic Republic of Congo. A passerby was killed trying to intervene, while 3 police officers were injured. France's anti-terror prosecutors unit said it was investigating the attack for murder and attempted murder in connection with a terrorist enterprise. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as the Shenzhou 19 crew members aboard China's Tiangong space station conduct a range of scientific experiments and tasks. With that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and be well, Malaysia.